Arsenal has gone ahead to offer a certain contract, to the man known as Merino. 4-year contract offered to Merino, and guess what? It's really cooking, and Arsenal really moving towards the best way possible. Emile Smith Rowe, deal to Fulham expected to be announced today and made official today. And then lastly, we have a story of finally, here we go, sounded of Obi, Chido, Martin, two Manchester United leaving Arsenal, and Fabrizio Romano has going to obviously confirm to us as to why he failed to obviously sign for the club of Arsenal, and what Man United had told him to convince him to come in through and obviously represent for the club of Manchester United. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned, and let's continue to show love by really subscribing, because we want to hit 20 20 20 20 20 20 20. We want to hit we want to hit 20, right? We want to hit 23, is it 23,000 subscribers, right? So continue to subscribe so that everything really moves on as to plan. We thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. Barak Lau Fikum, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. Now, let's obviously start it off with a story that came in through from Sport from Spain, and obviously the player that Arsenal wants to sign is from Spain, and this is what we went ahead to hear. Mikel Merino has a proposal from Arsenal. Merino's future is still open, with the player aiming for a departure from Real Sociedad this summer. Now, we've always gone ahead to hear that Mikel Merino has a proposal, but we never knew which kind of proposal had gone ahead to be put onto the table of Mikel Merino. That is it. And finally, we've gone ahead to obviously get to know which kind of proposal Arsenal has gone obviously to offer to the lad. And guess what? It's really very, very attractive, and I believe it is going to convince him to obviously coming through and really put his ilk or put his signature onto the contract at the side of Arsenal. And this is what we've gone ahead to be told by the side of Sports Zone. Sports Zone has told us that Arsenal have reached an agreement on personal terms on 4-year contract with Merino. The next step will be to find an agreement with Real Sociedad. So facts are that Arsenal is going to have to reach personal terms agreement, with Mikel Merino, and they're like, obviously it's a deal worth making. You get? It's a deal worth giving a go and giving an idea. And obviously the player is like, I would love to obviously go ahead and really do it at Arsenal, and the deal is going to have to be agreed, and it's a contract of 4 years. Now, at the age of 28, if they give you a contract of 4 years, I think there is a further option here, because teams really do that. You really get excited because he will obviously get what we call a salary increment. That is it. When you look at Merino, let's see, Mikel Merino was playing at the side called was playing at a side known as Real Sociedad, and guess what happened? He was only being paid 61,538 euros per week. That's the amount of money that he was been earning. And I tell you what, Arsenal is gonna multiply this by 2. I tell you, that is it. They're gonna multiply this by 2, and he's really gonna be earning huge amounts of money, meaning that the player is like, why should I not go to Arsenal and really do the needful? And he's so much convinced. Arteta has gone ahead to call the player. The player is excited for the Arsenal move. And finally, the other huge step has gone ahead to be reached by Arsenal, because I've already told you that there are always 5 steps of completing a transfer deal. One, the Arsenal contacting the player, agreeing personal terms, right? After agreeing personal terms and showing interest with the player, then Arsenal will proceed to go to talk to Real Sociedad. That's why you've been told that now the step left is for Arsenal to obviously convince Real Sociedad that we can meet the realistic evaluation that you have for this player. Those are 3, right? Then deal agreed, and then here we go comes in through, and after here we go, you know what follows? Medical, and then announcement. You get now, this is a very crucial step that Arsenal are going to have to reach, and I believe by the end of this week, we might get something important about this deal, because it is really good for Arsenal to do this, and to see to it that this deal is going to really be hastened. Looks like Chdio, Emile Smith Rowe, and Reece Nelson might leave, you know? And if at all they leave, you'll obviously see to it that a lot goes the way into Arsenal, and they'll pocket in some good amount of money. £35 million coming in through from Fulham for Emile Smith Rowe. Arsenal want €35 million for the guy called Chdio, and for Reece Nelson it must be a loan with an option to buy. So with that money coming in through, Arsenal will find it easy to obviously cash out some huge amount of money that will be exciting to the team of Real Sociedad. And it's all about now the negotiations between Arsenal and Real Sociedad to agree on the amount of money that Arsenal should pay to obviously get this player in, and see to it that everything really goes on as to plan. So for me, I'm just excited that a lot is really happening, and Arsenal is really trying to strengthen itself. As I've always told you, that Arsenal needs to get in the following people. 1, they need to get in a left back, they need to get in a central midfielder, a right winger, and a centre forward. And that's the plan that even Fabrizio Romano told us, and Arsenal really following it very, very well. So that is it coming in through from the side of Arsenal. And I tell you what, a lot is still under consideration by Mikel Arteta. But for Mikel Merino's case, personal terms have gone to have to be agreed after Arsenal sent him a proposal, and it was like, all right, 5 years. Sorry, it's a 4-year contract, right? Huge contract. And I think that he's gonna really get in some huge amount of money from the side of Arsenal. Yet, and the agent fees, has to be discussed into the mix, because the agent will tell them that as you agree a deal with Real Sociedad, the agent fees has to be really put in here for you. The image rights have to be discussed, and so on and so forth into the mix. The bonuses, if at all Arsenal qualifies for the Champions League, if Arsenal qualifies for the round of 16 quarterfinals, semi-finals, Champions League, wins the final of the Champions League, lifts the Premier League, lifts an FA Cup, and each and every stage that Arsenal reaches, this player has to be earning extra bonuses minus his weekly wages that they would have already gone ahead to agree upon. So that is what personal terms are all about, and now they've gone ahead to be agreed, and the onus is now onto the guy called Edu and his negotiation team to go to Real Sociedad and convince the player to obviously join them. And this time round, I think they want it quick, because you never know, someone can come in through and really hijack this deal. And this time round, it's not like the deal of Riccardo Carafiori, right? Because Riccardo Carafiori, an agreement had been reached in between Arsenal and the side of Bologna, and it was Basel that had a 50% sell-on clause that was delaying this deal to happen. You understand? But the deal is open. Real Sociedad will be willing to get in more money, and if at all Arsenal keeps negotiating and really dilly-dallies around, it's really going to be hard for them to find themselves in a position of really getting themselves this signing, because a hijack can be anticipated anytime. So Arsenal has to attack this situation early and see to it that they get it done, because teams are really eyeing, from nowhere. A team can come in through and obviously offer the amount of money that Sociedad is really wanting, and obviously sign the player. You've seen it with Nico Williams. PSG was like, we want to come in and hijack the deal to see to it that we can pay more money than what Barcelona, or we are paying more than the release clause. That's what PSG was coming in for. You understand? So you need to act fast in such situations to obviously get you the best that you deserve as a person. And I tell you what, it's really one of those moments that will obviously excite the people at Arsenal and see to it that they're obviously getting this deal done and dusted. So that is the man known as Merino Mikel, he has gone ahead to obviously agree personal terms with Arsenal, and guess what, Arsenal fans, this should be an exciting story that you guys will want to obviously read. Now let's go to Emile Smith Rowe. Yesterday his medical was taken, and we all know to it that he passed it very well, and we've been told by Dom Smith, he's a reporter for the Evening Standard, that Emile Smith Rowe's transfer to Fulham is expected to be announced today. So the deal is expected to be announced today, and a lot is really on the cards, right? And the side of Arsenal is really working tooth and nail to it that this deal is really accomplished and it's really gotten out of the way. And after that, they really proceed to see what they're going to use the money for. But it looks like it was the liking of Emile Smith Rowe to leave, and is the man who forced them off, because we've been told by Grammy Bailey, who works for GRV Media, that is the GRV Media. Then there is High ICT, High HTC, and TBR Football, that sources have told High TC that Emile Smith Rowe made it clear to Arsenal that he wanted first team football. As well, Smith Rowe is understood to be still hold out hope of call up for England national team under a new manager leading into the World Cup of 2026. Obviously, I've already told you that Emile Smith Rowe as a player loved Arsenal, but he reached an extent when his future was obviously drowning into the sea, right? And he found himself in a situation that he couldn't obviously get himself to where he deserves to be. And I tell you what, a lot has come to our notice that we are going to obviously fetch in a lot of things, and the staff is really huge. And he was like, however much Arsenal wants me, I want to move. Arsenal wanted to keep the player, but the player was like, I'm pushing to leave. And I've always told you that elite teams don't stop players from leaving. If a player wants to leave, let him go, And Arteta loved Emile Smith Rowe. He loved him. The fans of Arsenal loved him a lot because they had a lot of hope in him. By the way, even me, however much I support Manchester United, I really had a lot of hope in the man known as Emile Smith Rowe, because I believe he's really a talented jam. He's a jam that is really going to spark himself off. But I believe at a certain point, you've always needed that Ridley Cafaré stage at that side where Arsenal is, right at the side where Emile Smith Rowe is. And Arsenal wanted him, but he was like, what is the best for me? The best for me is let me go to Fulham, stay in London, you get in enough playing time, score those 10, 15, 20 goals a season, and I tell you what, from nowhere, another big team will come in for me. I tell you. Don't be surprised if Emile Smith Rowe is at Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool, or Chelsea. All if Arsenal goes ahead to buy him back in 2026, because I know all what he was lacking is enough playing time, and he's going to get it. And we all know his quality, and no one doubts the quality of Emile Smith Rowe, and really scoring very many goals. You remember that season when he had to put in very many goals and assists, and this time around he's going to be under a manager who is really proven at grooming youngsters and turning them into what they are. And I tell you, he's really going to command a lot of respect in that dressing room of Fulham, because every player is going to look at him as one of those players that is really great. And I know he's going to go into the training sessions and really show that what I am, and I'm not here because I deserve to be here, but I'm here to really send a message to everyone who really thought that I'm really off the grip. I'm Emile Smith Rowe. I'm ready for the next big stage. Don't really undermine me and don't really underestimate me. I'm going to come here. I've come here to conquer. I've come here to obviously get revived and really get my career to where it deserves to be. That is Emile Smith Rowe for you. And we just can't wait to hear that announcement. And no sooner it's announced, we'll come here and we'll let you know that Emile Smith Rowe is now a Fulham player officially. And what is going to come first? Emile Smith Rowe will put in his bid farewell message to the fans of Arsenal. And I think it's really going to be tearful to some fans. But he will put it up, then Arsenal will make an announcement, and then Fulham will put out a statement that Emile Smith Rowe is now a player of Fulham. So we wait and see. And by the way, you have a chance to see him play his first Premier League game for Fulham on the 16th of next month, that is August, at Old Trafford. And remember, the last time, I think is one of the few players of Arsenal in the recent past that have gone ahead to score at Old Trafford. Remember that game that ended 3-2, ended 3-2 in favor of Manchester United. Emile Smith Rowe was on target, Odegaard was on target, but United went ahead to obviously win that game by 3-2 at Old Trafford. So he might be one of those to come in front, obviously find himself on the score sheet, but we anticipate the best of the player, and he's really going to come in through and put in a very huge show at the stadium of Old Trafford. Now, however much Arsenal had confirmed that he's leaving, we've gone ahead to get to know where Chido Obi Martin is heading to. Fabrizio Romano yesterday midnight told us that Chido Obi Martin to Man United, here we go, talented striker, leaves Arsenal and is just accepted Man United proposal. Pathway to Chido, who is turned down higher bids from Germany to sign for Man United. Project convinced 27-born top talent to accept Manchester United. Now, he's going to be a Manchester United player. Bayern Munich was obviously pushing hard to get to really sign the player, but the player was like, no way, I coming through to obviously put in a shift in here. I want to stay in the Premier League, and there is an open way to the first team of Manchester United than to the side of Bayern Munich. I want to keep shining in the Premier League, and I believe United has very many tournaments: Carabao Cup, FA Cup, UEFA Europa League, the Premier League, and he'll obviously come in through. Now, one of the factors that really made him coming through to really sign for Manchester United have been revealed to us by Fabrizio Romano again. He says Chido Obi Martin will be considered the third striker currently at Manchester United, behind Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee. The idea is to have him for the academy, but also helpful for the first team when needed. This is what United offered him. So I think United has gone ahead to offer him something that is really undeniable, being a third choice striker, because in that entire season, you don't anticipate one of the strikers not to get injured. Right now, Rasmus Højlund is injured, he's having a hamstring injury, and you don't know what is really going to be happening for the side of Manchester United in as far as that role is concerned. We're having Joshua Zirkzee, Ethan Whitley, and Obi Chibo. But Chido Obi is a very talented player. He has gone ahead to put in a very huge shift, and I tell you what, no one is really going to stop him from obviously coming in through, from putting in the required shift as a player. So we just can't wait to see how this deal is going to happen, but anytime from now, you are going to hear it. And the other huge factor that is going to hit to see this man signed for the club of Manchester United is all about the man that went ahead obviously to torment Arsenal a lot when he was at Manchester United. That is Ruud van Nistelrooy. It said Ruud van Nistelrooy was key in Chido Martin's decision to join Manchester United. Van Nistelrooy spoke to the player about his development plan. Now, Chido Obi Martin is a centre forward, and what was Ruud van Nistelrooy known for? Ruud van Nistelrooy was known for being a deadly number 9. You remember? He was a deadly number 9 that went ahead to obviously score very many goals while at Manchester United, and he really scored very many goals against Arsenal. But most memorably, we'll never forget him on the day Man United was supposed to obviously break the unbeaten run of Arsenal in the season where they went unbeaten or they went invisible. 2003, 2004, we got a penalty as Manchester United in the dying minutes, and Ruud van Nistelrooy struck that ball onto the frame of the goal. You get? And the ball, and the referee blew the whistle to end the game immediately, and the fight was really thereafter. You understand? And he was really a goal machine. That is Ruud van Nistelrooy for you. And if you are a striker at the age of 16 and Ruud van Nistelrooy tells you, I'm here, I'm going to be giving you one-on-one training sessions, I'm going to really teach you how to become a deadly number 9, because the boy is already deadly at the age of 16. Now, imagine if at all Ruud van Nistelrooy adds a lot to this guy. What is this guy going to become? He's really going to become a very deadly player, and we anticipate that a lot will come in through to obviously get him to where he deserves to be. So that is it, coming in through from the man himself known as Ruud van Nistelrooy convincing the young lad to join him, and we can't wait to see how things are really going to pan out. So we're here to obviously tell you that we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in your phones and your gadgets. Call them on +256 70 9988 665, and you will get even used phones and used laptops from the United Kingdom. Your reactions to Mikel Merino, Arsenal offers Mikel Merino a 4-year contract. What do you make about it? And what do you make about Emile Smith Rowe pushing to leave the club of Arsenal? And lastly, what do you make about Chido Obi Martin and his prospects all hitting his ceiling at the club of Manchester United? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Bye-bye, my mates.